Hello folks, Troubletcat here recording for the Zombie Arcade, and you're watching Meet the Weapon. Today we're taking a look at the MG36 with no attachments. This is the last light machine gun, so we'll be finished with the support kit and on to the recon kit after this. And just before I get into talking about the gun, a couple of announcements. First of all, hopefully this series will be coming out a bit more regularly now. I was kind of waiting on the patch to continue the series because the patch made a lot of stuff in the old videos incorrect, and I wanted to make sure these videos had as much longevity as possible, so I didn't really, after they announced the patch and all the balance changes in the patch, I didn't really want to do any more videos until that was out, and I had a little bit of time with the new patch to play around and get a feel for how they've changed the handling of the weapons. So, sorry about the big delay, they should be coming more regularly again now. Also, on top of that, a few other things. I'm going to be live streaming a lot more now, hopefully, so like once this video is done uploading, I'm probably going to go live almost immediately. And, the best way to know when I'm going to go live is to follow my live stream or to follow me on Twitter. Twitter or Facebook, both of which I'll leave links to in the description. I didn't used to have a, I had a Twitter account for the Zombie Arcade for a long time, but I wasn't doing anything with it, but I will be doing that now, so you can now follow me on Twitter if you are so inclined, or as I said, like the Facebook page. I'll put links to all that stuff in the description below, and it would help me out a lot if you guys came over and showed your support for all that kind of junk. So anyway, those announcements out of the way. The MG36. We are, of course, going to begin by speaking of it in the reels. So the MG36 is a light machine gun variant of the G36 assault rifle, and it actually shares almost all of its properties with the rifle. We discussed the G36 a while ago when we were looking at the G36C on the engineer kit, which is the carbine version, or a carbine version. But that was a long time ago, so we're going to do a bit of a refresher. And I mean, also, I really like the G36 family of weapons, so I'm happy to talk about them. So, the G36 and the MG36 are developed by German weapons manufacturer Heckler & Koch as a replacement for the G3 rifle. They entered service with the German Army in 1997, and they're still in use in Germany and by around 20 other countries. I think I mentioned some of those in the other video, but whatever. So, these specs that I'm about to list are actually the exact same. These apply to both the G36 standard rifle and the MG36. Most of the features are exactly the same. We'll talk about the differences in just a minute between the two guns. So the weapon fires a 5.56 NATO ammunition at around 750 rounds per minute with an effective range of around 800 meters. It normally comes standard with a combined 3 times and reflex sight. On the MG36, it's actually a 3.5 times sight instead of a 3 times, just 5.5% more, 0.5 times more magnification. Man, I'm on the fail train today. Although the version in the game appears to have a Picatinny rail where the optics and carry handle should be located. The G36C does have a Picatinny rail there, but the MG36 does not. It has the fixed carry handle and optics that the G36 rifle comes standard with. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird variant in the game, I guess. The only real difference between the MG36 and the G36 rifle is the magnification of the optics, as I mentioned, and the MG36 has a heavier barrel to help with heat resistance. Aside from that, the MG36 is normally equipped with a bipod and the 100-round double drum magazine. Double drum? Holy shit! Double drum magazine. For some reason, this mag only holds 50 rounds in BF3, though. This magazine holds 100 bullets in real life. Whatever. It's worth noting that it can also load the same 30-round mags as the G36, though, and that the G36 can load the C-mag drum, and that the bipod is not fixed. So, in reality, the differences between the MG36 and the G36 are negligible, the most notable being the heavier barrel for that increased heat resistance, as I mentioned. So it's actually pretty much the exact same thing as the G36 rifle, just with some very slight differences to make it a little bit better for sort of support firing, continuous automatic fire. The MG36 is no longer in production, as the German Army withdrew interest in the project, which a lot of people in gaming I seem to get kind of sad about for some reason, because I know a lot of gamers like me are kind of fans of this series of weapons. And they sort of go, oh, why would they do that? In the game, I'm not really a fan of this gun in the game, sadly, which is a bit of a tragedy because I do really like the G36 series of weapons. But in the game, I just feel like it's not that potent. I liked it a lot more before the patch. I felt like it was pretty balanced before the patch. It was a solid gun. in the patch, they added a lot more recoil to it, and it's actually, for me, it's one of the... It's pretty difficult to control now. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the most difficult light machine gun to control, but it's pretty hard to control. It's not quite the M240B or the PKP. Those are still harder to use. But it's pretty hard to control, and it doesn't pack the punch of those other harder-to-control machine guns. You know, it has sort of an average rate of fire, average damage, and it's still got this sort of real kick to it. It's pretty unruly, as they might say. And aside from that, only 50 rounds in the magazine is kind of a kick in the teeth, especially when it should have 100 according to real life. The only thing with less rounds, the only LMGs with less rounds in this game are the RPK and the M27 IAR. Even the QBB has more. So it's just, yeah. I mean, I'm not a fan of this gun in the game. I feel like it looks pretty cool. I kind of want to like using it. I don't like the iron sights at all, but that's not important because normally I'd be playing with optics. But I just feel like for how hard it is to use, you don't get much reward. You know, I can control it okay and stuff like that, but it's a challenge, and the gun is not that potent. So I don't personally favor this one in the game. I mean, I do kind of like that it's got a faster reload time and it's a bit more mobile than most of the LMGs. But I mean, realistically, I talked about the Type 95 in the last video. That's a better sort of highly mobile light machine gun than this is, because that's a lot easier to control and it has more rounds in the magazine. Or the starting LMGs as well are probably going to be better than this gun for that sort of run and gun type play. I think the idea with this gun is like the Type 88. It's supposed to be kind of versatile. You're supposed to be able to sort of run and gun with it, but it's supposed to also not be too bad of just a sort of sit and spray kind of weapon. And with the bipod down, it does become extremely controllable, extremely accurate, and you can really take people out easily. That's not really my main playstyle, so you don't see me doing that much here, but that is worth noting. However, the fact that it has such a small magazine and low damage compared to other guns that you might like doing that with makes it not really good for that role. It's not really good for the run and gun role because of the recoil, despite, you know, the faster reload time. So this gun just doesn't quite feel right to me, just in any role. I don't know, maybe a lot of people are going to disagree with me. I know this gun is, you know, somewhat popular. I think a lot of people would just use it because they like the G36 sort of series of guns. It was a lot more potent before the patch as well. They added recoil to this, more recoil than I think they needed to. It was kind of a laser beam before the patch. It maybe needed a little bit extra recoil, but the amount they put it to is kind of high, and it just makes the gun not really worth the effort to me, is how I'd put it. But all in all, you know, it's not abjectly terrible. It is one of my least favored LMGs, though, in the game in terms of usability, which is kind of sad because, as I said, I really like the G36 series of weapons. I'd love for this gun to be awesome and for me to, you know, actually use it regularly, but I just find that it's not really up to the standard of a lot of the other LMGs in the game. So that's sort of my impressions on it. I think that you know, covers it pretty well. We'll take a look at. We'll probably only do one attachment loadout for this. As I said, I'm not a huge fan of it. We might do a couple. We'll see what happens, and we'll be moving on to the recon kit, which I finally managed to get Service Star 1 with all the sniper rifles. I don't make a Meet the Weapon video until I have at least 100 kills with the weapons, so that I know at least sort of what I'm talking about. And I'm not a huge recon player, but I spent a lot of time this past few days playing with sniper rifles to get them all up to at least 100 kills. So I'm ready to get going on those recon vids, and I'm actually kind of looking forward to that because I'm going to get to talk about playing recon, the way I play recon, and how to play recon without being a massive douchebag. So I'm kind of looking forward to that because I think the recon kit is one that a lot of people have trouble with, to put it politely. They have a hard time playing the recon kit in a way that is helpful to their team. Whether or not they're actually trying is another question, but the point is I'd like to make some videos talking about how you can actually play at recon and still credit the team, because it is entirely possible, especially after the patch. They made recon a lot more effective, but whatever, we'll save that for the next videos when I'm actually looking at the recon kit. Getting towards the end of the game here, as you can see, this is a really close one. The enemy's just ahead in tickets, and we're holding down 2 points. They're holding down 2 points. I spent a lot of this game playing sort of defensively on the hilltop or pushing out towards the gas station through the forest there. With LMGs, you know, playing a bit more defensively can be good, and with these close games like this, it's really, really important that you hold the points you keep, because like if I hadn't stayed at hilltop as much as I did, for example, we wouldn't have held it as much as we did. We'd be in a lot worse shape here. And you know, spoiler alert, we do actually end up pulling a win out of this game. It's a really close one, but we managed to get it done due to my team not being absolute chucklefucks and their will to play the objectives being strong. You know, it really annoys me that this gun only has 50 rounds in the magazine. In that double drum mag in the game, just because it seems kind of ridiculous. Like in game, it's got this gigantic double drum mag, and it's like 50 rounds. So that's only got 5 more than the box magazines on the M27 and the RPK. Really, that thing's only holding 5 more rounds. That just seems kind of derp. I don't know why DICE did that. It did come standard with extended mags that bump it up to 100 rounds. I think they might have changed or fixed that in the patch, because I think the extended mags were meant to be a DICE exclusive attachment for this gun, which blows my mind. Like, I mean, surely that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. The standard mags should be 100 rounds, considering that's what that mag holds in real life, and the extended mag should boost you up to 200, like the other LMGs that start with 100 rounds would make a lot more sense. I don't know, the magazine capacity on this gun, what they've done with it, it's not authentic, and there's no like good in-game balance reason for it to be less than it is in real life. You know, this gun is not so. It's not like this gun would be way too powerful if it had twice as many rounds in the magazine. It wouldn't make this gun some like ridiculous thing. I don't get it. I don't know why they did that, guys. I don't actually know for 100% certain whether or not they changed the extended mag unlock thing or not. I'll talk about that in the next video, because I'll be trying to use the extended mags, I'm sure. Anyway, that's the end of that game, guys. We won just barely. How many tickets did we win by? It's going to tell me in a second here. And I think I got right around a 2 KD. Didn't do too bad for myself. It's hard to do really amazingly well in those close games. You know, you can do pretty good, but you can't sort of dump all over everyone, because they're always somewhat competent. Anyway, make sure you let me know what you thought of the video. Leave a like, a comment, whatever. Thanks for watching, and until next time, you didn't get to see how many tickets are left. Troubletcat out.